Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Friday, February 27th. The month of February ends on Saturday, and indeed it will go out with a bang in terms of cold temperatures. Perhaps some more record lows tomorrow morning in the I-95 corridor region. This will turn out to be one of the coldest Februaries ever in many areas in the Mid-Atlantic region, and especially throughout the northeastern part of the country. And in fact, it'll turn out to be one of the coldest months, period, in the history of record keeping in the northeastern part of the country. We'll tally up all those numbers by the early part of next week. Again, February ends on Saturday, and there can be more records tomorrow morning in the I-95 corridor region between D.C. and New York City. And this is the map from this morning from coolweather.com that shows another expansive area of record or near record lows all the way throughout the upper part of the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, even into the southwestern part of the country. Perhaps the most amazing of all, right here, this is Syracuse in New York, and it is approaching its all-time, not just for the date, but the all-time cold temperature record here for Syracuse, around minus 27 degrees. And that's unofficial, but Syracuse may very well reach its all-time record low temperature this morning, around minus 27 degrees. I expect a lot of these blue dots to be centered up and down the I-95 corridor tomorrow morning as temperatures plunge overnight to the single digits in many of the suburban locations of the big cities from D.C. to Baltimore, Philadelphia, and New York City. So a very cold start to the weekend on Saturday morning. Well, one more map as we close out the month of February that is quite impressive, not only, of course, with the extreme cold that we've had in the upper part of the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, the northeastern U.S., but snow cover as we close out the month of February is quite impressive indeed. All the way now down into the deep south. We had accumulating snow over the last few days from northeastern Texas across northern Alabama and Georgia all the way into the Carolinas. This is impressive really for any time of the year, but especially as we are about to begin the month of March. This little hole in the snow cover right here could actually be filled in this week, and there certainly can be some accumulating snow, at least in the eastern half of this region, as we progress from Saturday into Sunday. So a very cold month of February is about to end on Saturday in a good part of the country, and the snow cover is quite impressive indeed as we end the month of February. Well, the next chance for appreciable precipitation here in the I-95 corridor will come later Sunday into early Monday, and we'll focus in on that in a moment. Currently, there are some snow showers still working their way through the eastern parts of the Mid-Atlantic region. Kind of went through the Philadelphia region over the past few hours, caused a coating on some untreated surfaces, and then expanded quickly from the D.C. and south and east. All of this will fizzle out over the next couple of hours. As the snow moved across central Pennsylvania overnight, there was some incredible snow ratios of as high as 30-to-1 in State College, for example. They ended up with about 4 or 5 inches of snow with very, very little in the way of liquid equivalent precipitation. A very dry, powdery snow as across the central Pennsylvania mountains, and that fluffy snow actually piled up to about 4 or 5 inches overnight in central Pennsylvania. But for now, some snow showers will diminish over the next hour or two, and then basically just partly sunny skies for the remainder of today. Very cold for this time of the year, and again, temperatures tonight under clear skies and calm conditions will plunge to the single digits in many portions of the I-95 corridor. Perhaps record low temperature territory by tomorrow morning. Well, let's now focus in on the latter part of the weekend, as that will be the next appreciable precipitation event here in the I-95 corridor. It looks like basically from later Sunday, probably Sunday afternoon into early Monday, snow in some areas, a wintry mix in other areas, and perhaps a combination, first snow and then a wintry mix in some areas as we progress towards the beginning part of next week. This is the forecast map from last night's Zero-Z GFS model run for early tomorrow morning. This is Saturday morning, using tropicaltidbits.com. High pressure, very strong high pressure, will be sitting right on top of the mid-Atlantic region overnight tonight into the early morning hours, and that will allow for tremendous radiational cooling, especially in areas with a snow cover. Winds will lighten up by the time the sun sets later today, and tonight will just basically be clear and calm, and that will allow for temperatures to plunge to perhaps record levels by early tomorrow morning in the single digits in many of the suburban locations along the I-95 corridor from D.C. to New York City here. Again, high pressure sitting right on top of the region as we begin the weekend. And tomorrow will feature plenty of sunshine, but very cold, some 20 degrees below normal for this time of year. And here's the forecast map for tomorrow evening, Saturday evening. This is as we close out the month of February. Again, plenty of sunshine during the day tomorrow, but way below normal. That will contribute to the very cold readings for the month of February as a whole. And of course, Monday begins March. But notice here, by tomorrow evening, a lot of precipitation starting to break out here across the central plains. We talked a moment ago about a lack of a snow cover out in this part of the country. Indeed, they could fill in with some snow cover over the weekend. Let's now jump ahead to Sunday morning. Well, by Sunday morning, that high pressure will start to make some movement to move offshore. That will allow for somewhat milder air to push in on Sunday. Even though Saturday will be really cold, well below normal for this time of the year, there will be some moderation in temperatures on Sunday ahead of this batch of precipitation. And it looks like this will continue to move steadily to the east, arrive in the afternoon hours, at least across upstate Pennsylvania, for example, in the form of snow, and perhaps even into southeastern Pennsylvania later in the afternoon on Sunday in the form of snow. But by Sunday night, it could be wintry mix in portions of the I-95 corridor. Let's now jump ahead to the Sunday evening forecast map. Well, by later Sunday evening, some pinks showing up here from the GFS model run. That indicates a mixed bag of sleet and freezing rain, some snow across northern New Jersey, northeastern Pennsylvania, and perhaps a mixture or just plain rain down across D.C. metro region. So we're headed for a milder day on Sunday, still way below normal for this time of the year, but not nearly as cold as Saturday. Precipitation starts to advance from the west to the east, arrives in the I-95 corridor later Sunday, probably Sunday afternoon, and perhaps in the form of snow initially, but then a wintry mix is possible, at least in Philadelphia and D.C., overnight, Sunday night into early Monday, perhaps even changing to just plain rain in the D.C. metro region by Monday morning. Could stay as mostly snow up in the New York City metro region, so a messy period from late Sunday into early Monday, with the next batch of precipitation headed right into the I-95 corridor. So possible record cold as we begin the weekend in portions of the I-95 corridor tomorrow morning. That's it for now. For VencoreWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.